Toast! Toast! Hello, motherfuckers. My name is Tyler Maas, and I'm here with Mitch Ciohon. And this is an episode of Shot for Shot with Chefs. Ba ba ba. Ba ba ba. Sort of. Wait, we're waiting until that. It really opens up from there.
Quite literally.
All right, so I guess we're going.
Yep. First one.
Mitch Ciohon.
Ciohon. Oh, got it.
A
First
thing
try.
I just learned how to say today.
Yeah.
I went all over the board in my guesses. Mitch Ciohon. Mitch C.
See? Coin is one that happens a
Yeah.
lot. John actually thought my name was Coin forever until he heard it like pronounced like in front of him one day. And he was like, dude, why don't you ever correct me?
Like, you want to do a shot? And then we can
Yeah, I think.
keep going.
Ooh, Great Northern. Delicious.
More like really great Northern. This stuff is good.
They should just put a really on the bottle.
I guess I'll get into the partnership you have with Mr. John Revord. You have been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
In the past, when I've interviewed you both, you mentioned that you've been really tight for like a decade or more.
More than that even. I always tell a story because he picked me and my friend up, my roommate at the time, in his car. And I got in his car and I was just like looking around in it and I was like, this is like, looks just like my car. There's like little Buddha statues and crystals everywhere. And we were hanging out that night and I was like, do you want to be like daytime friends? Is that weird? And then that's kind of how it started. But we just have, we have a lot in common and like all the same stuff. And then we were just good friends. And I was a chef, he was a bar guy, and when he opened Hotel Foster, and we were trying to like figure out how we could come together, and like we talked about it. We're like, I lived in Austin, Texas for a little while, and that's kind of like where I developed the idea, for the taco truck, and always like trying to have that thing like that Austin, Texas food truck vibe, like they're more stationary there. They don't drive around, and popping it. One day we were just talking, and we're like, let's just put it in the back of Boone and Crockett, like, and it, I think everybody who started with us in the beginning saw the different changes, because it was like a little trailer, and then it was like a little bit bigger trailer, and then we put the truck back there.
Like you were, like, among the handful of like the initial people that really kind of pushed the food truck, movement here in Milwaukee.
The health department and the city, they didn't really have, at that time when I opened, they didn't have a plan for like a permanent food truck, like a stationary one. So they were like, what do you want to do? Like, we don't, why, that's not what people do. And I was like, well, that's what we want to do, I've certainly thought about like developing it into brick and mortar space. Like, it's just, the way that we run it here is, it's kind of works really well. The amount of food that we push out of that truck is like the same amount or even more than like some of the smaller size restaurants in town.
Like, watching as an outsider, the growth has really been apparent. I mean, even just this area is like roughly the size of what Boone used to be. It held 69 people.
Yeah.
Exactly. I can remember, because
we met the guy because he came and like inspected the capacity at, I think it was when he was at Boone, and he told John, like, if you ever see that, he's like, that was me. I did that because and he thought he was hilarious.
And you have another restaurant.
Yeah, we're closing in on like the 2-year anniversary of Snack Boys. Just say that our anniversary is April 20th because it is more funny for us.
Yeah.
We're moving to the east side, and we're really excited about it. And it's like, it's like a weird full circle thing. Like, that was where John's original bar was, Hotel Foster. And actually, the kind of way that it transpired was John and I were driving through the east side, and he decided to call the company that was leasing, that had just like acquired that building. And there was a big sign on the front door because he wanted to call so he could get the Hotel Foster sign back. The guy then was like, hey, actually I wanted to talk to you guys. Maybe you're interested in like taking over the space. So John and I together, when we do stuff like Snack Boys, we're good dreamers, but we're good at executing the dream too. Boone and Crockett is like, that's John's baby. It always is. And Taco Moto is mine. And like putting those together was what like forged our relationship. Luckily for us, like in all the different places, we have great people that help us, and our managers, and like everybody is great. We are lucky to have like such a great staff everywhere, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I feel
get
like
it
we're
ready.
not taking enough shots. Ooh, it's a healthy one.
Perfect pour.
Cheers, sir.
That one was a little bit harder than the first one.
It was.
How have you also kind of evolved from being an everyday like employee and the person actually making the food, working your way into a managerial role? Like, what are some things you've learned, I guess, in the process?
It's hard to like pull yourself out of that, especially because every day, every week, you just have to remind yourself, like, I got to get over there and like, do some stuff. I got to go talk to Eamon and like got some new menu ideas that we need to discuss, and like we try to do that kind of thing like weekly. Yeah, especially at Snack Boys, just like touch base with the guys like Steve and Eamon. They were the managers of Snack Boys forever, like since we opened, and then now with like moving and stuff, we're bringing them in as partners with John and I, we're super excited about that. Those two dudes are great. John and I are fortunate to have them helping us with Snack Boys, like boots on the ground. I've learned a lot. Admittedly, like it is the hardest thing for me to like let go of stuff, like to like release the control and not work every day all day in the taco truck. Like when I finally like brought on somebody to help me, because it got popular so fast, like I couldn't do it by myself. Having people that you can trust is like it's like a godsend. When you release, but then you like catch a glimpse of somebody like caring about something, like caring about what something looks like, and like you see that happen in front of your eyes, is like, I don't know, it's like rewarding. Opens that whole new door of like people being like, getting creative on their own, and then
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, the Dr. Pepper pork taco.
Yeah.
That was a thing that I think you've been known for since
That was
the get-go, basically.
Yeah, like when I worked at Beta and Sabor, like I worked with this like awesome staff of, it was like all these Brazilian dudes, and I would go hang out at their houses and like their birthday parties, and like, but it's just like taco stuff, and I was like I don't know, I can remember exactly the day of really when it like, I was like, I don't want to barbecue ever and not just be making like tacos. Like, I love hamburgers and I love hot dogs and I love brats, I love all that stuff, but like everybody loves tacos. Just I grabbed a hold of it. And
But like, why Dr. Pepper?
is it 23 flavors? Where it started for me was when you learn about it in culinary school, classic French, like whatever, you use stocks to braise stuff. The way I want it to be is more of like braising in like sweet and vinegar. Why wouldn't I, instead of using water, use soda? It's liquid and it's sweet and it's flavor, and then use my favorite soda, Dr. Pepper, and it makes sense, and it worked really well. So I take the pork juice now, cook it down, and use it at Snack Boys for the breakfast ramen, and it's like this really unique kind of like sweet and salty from like the Moto dust.
Yeah, I also want to get into the dust.
The dust is a must.
Like, I feel like that's another thing that you're known for.
Well, I mean, it's good on everything, literally.
Yeah, the Moto dust is on your chips, right?
Is on chips, and it's like the all-purpose seasoning for everything. It's on the chips. We use it at Snack Boys. It's like it goes on the chicken, it goes on the pork, it goes on the beef. Like, it started in my head like togarashi, like rice seasoning, because I wanted it to be like sweet and salty but crunchy, and also have like poppy seeds and sesame seeds, and subconsciously, like in the background of like a lot of my menu items across the board, there's this flavor profile that like you don't even necessarily realize that you're consuming, but like Snack boy flavor or
Yeah, it's the underlying
taco
thing.
Moto
It's
flavor.
like how you know
Mitch's
that
seasoning.
like
That's like how it became what it is now. And we sell it in like little bags, like little 1.5 ounce bags. Side note: if you ever end up at TSA with a gypsy dust bag or a Moto dust bag in your pocket, it's weird. People are like, "What is this? What kind of weird drugs are you trying to get?" It's like it's just seasoning.
why are they up your ass and a bunch of condoms?
Why is this in your butt?
It's that good. You did happen to mention like the word gypsy dust before. Like it was originally gypsy taco, your business.
Yeah.
The use of the word was offensive to certain people's.
I know that a lot of people, especially like still, that use that have been approached by people that say like, "Hey, you shouldn't do this." They're like, "Fuck off! I can do whatever I want." Like I'm not that kind of guy. Like if somebody has a problem, like I'm gonna face it and then like do what I need to do to make it better.
Yeah.
Because I don't want anybody to be upset with me. I get it. Like 100%. I just took it in a different way, and I met with a woman representing people that were upset about it in the community, and we had a long talk about like history and like stuff that I know about, but not necessarily like know like how it makes people feel. Like even just like hearing the word is like like nails on a chalkboard, and I don't want to do that to anybody. Like that's not cool. Like, and I didn't know. And for me, like changing it wasn't a huge deal. It was, but like other people, like fans of the the original thing, were more upset about it, and that's where it kind of like went down a path that I didn't want it to, and I was upset about it to where I had to like step in and be like, all right, this needs to be a situation that stops now. Like it went from 0 to 60 really quickly. And it's just like, at the end of the day, it's like, it's just the name. Like I'm out here to make good food and make people smile. And that is all I want to do all the time is like, I work in the hospitality industry. Like this is my job. Like I am here to like make people happy and provide a good time for people. That's my job. Like I need to put my best foot forward all the time. And we've come a long way since then. It's only been 2 years, but like a lot of stuff has happened, and Taco Moto's doing better than it ever was, Every year gets better, and that's great. So
yeah, cheers.
Cheers, thanks.
Let's,
thanks, Milwaukee. / Wisconsin.
Why do they get?
Like, what are you gonna say? Oh, why they get harder?
Yeah.
I think your theory was right. The
This
lower
part,
it goes on the
the
bottle,
middle part of the bottle.
Yeah. That's where
I
all
wonder
the.
what the bottom's like.
So on the way lighter end of things, you mentioned that Dr. Pepper was your favorite soda.
Yeah. I don't drink a lot of soda. I don't drink
what are
soda.
what are
I
your
drink
favorite
LaCroix.
beverages? LaCroix? Okay, what's your flavors?
I drink like 27 LaCroix a day. Like I'm like the guy who like opens the LaCroix and takes one sip and then puts it down. But then if they're not cold, I'm like, I have to abandon it. I'm done. I can't.
What's your Mount Rushmore of sparkling water? Yeah.
Coconut, pamplemousse, key lime
That's my number one.
is great.
It tastes like pie.
It's like you're like getting a little extra with it, and it's not. The can reads the same. I like just straight up orange. There's also passion fruit. There's a very hard pass on any of the LaCroix that are in the tall cans. Those flavors are all garbage.
I wasn't even aware that they did that.
They're garbage. The cola one's weird because if you pour it in a glass, it's like crystal clear. I mean, nod to crystal clear Pepsi, I guess.
Yeah, I have a bid on eBay for that right now.
I was just gonna say that. Like you can only get it on eBay.
How about this? When you drink soda, what were your favorite sodas?
Dr. Pepper though.
Okay.
And like cherry Coke, probably. Like Fresca, I like Fresca.
Squirt, which
Squirt.
is a weird name for a soda now. Where just
You're making it weird by saying it like that.
they have like old vintage branding where it's like there's nothing like Squirt or something.
Yeah. Or if it'd be like along the same. Like, do you think they also had a brand that was called Moist, and they're like, no, this one's not gonna work.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know. I believe I've asked every chef this. What are your like guilty pleasures, like the fast food mainstays, the go-tos?
I'm like a garbage eater. I'm like, admittedly. First of all, as a person who makes quite a big part of his living making tacos, like my favorite like food is the Double Decker Supreme at Taco Bell, which also, if anybody else is a fan of that, is bullshit
I
because
think they got rid of it, right?
yeah, they just discontinued it. Why? It's so fucked up. They
Taco
have,
neck syndrome. That's why.
they have
Remember
all-
the Shaq ads where he's
they
he's
have
like, I
all
suffer
of the
from
ingredients.
TNS.
It's the best taco. Crunchy, soft, beans. So
Yeah.
it's got all the things you need. But I think beyond that, just a Whopper with cheese is probably like my favorite. This time last year, Burger King was like, you can get 10 nuggets for $1,
Yeah.
right? So I went and I was like, all right, I want 100 nuggets. The lady was like laughing at me on the thing too. She thought it was like so funny for some reason. And then I got 2 of each sauce, like every single sauce. I love condiments. Every single one.
Every single
Yeah.
one.
And
Okay.
then just crushed it. And I felt not well for like 2 days. Like I got like a headache instantly. And I still would do it again, but like I was like, I have a headache, and then I don't remember who I was talking to. Like, you just ate 100. Like, I didn't eat 100.
It's a double
Let's just
cool
be-
hand Luke.
let's be
Double
clear.
cool hand Luke some nuggies.
Let's be clear. I did not eat 100 nuggies. I ate like 22, but I had 100, and they were terrible. Are we just talking about fast food, or are we just talking about garbage food?
Anything.
I mean,
you have any thoughts on frozen pizza?
No, yeah, that's where I was going.
Okay,
I love frozen pizza. First of
we're
all,
kindred
like
spirits
so
there.
much, like I basically survive on that, like frozen pizza in High Life. But I'm very hardcore Jack's, like
And Beauforting.
and Beauforting, yes, not High Lifes. I mean Beauforting. Jack's Supreme, like till I die.
I get a lot of shit because I like Orbs.
That's weird.
What led you to wanting to make a life in this line of work?
I needed to get a job, and my cousin worked at Gill's Cafe, and he's like, hey, I'll get you a job. The guy that was the chef at Gill's on my resume, because the only thing that I had was the Kilty. It's the best drive in Wisconsin. He was like, oh, I love that place. He's like, can you make me the Kilty burger, which is like Sloppy Joe, basically? He's like, make me that, and I'll hire you. And I liked it a lot. I just like, I had fun working, and I just kind of was like good at it. And then really started to like dig in, and then decided like maybe I should go to culinary school. I went to MATC, and it was great. Like, and the MATC has like this amazing like apprentice program, and so I was working every day, and then I went to school 1 day a week for 8 hours, and it was awesome. Like I just like went all in. Then I was like, if I'm doing something, I will whole ass everything. Like I do not half ass, you know. Gill's Cafe, worked at Sabor, the Brazilian restaurant, went and opened Smith at the Iron Horse with my buddy Tom Schultz. Then I left Smith, went back to Sabor as the executive chef. The guy who was the owner of Sabor, my friend Paul, we had this idea to create a restaurant inside of a restaurant. He gave me an opportunity to like literally do whatever I wanted. Brazilian Churrascaria, run this, make sure it's okay. Also, in this extra space that we have, make a small plate restaurant and do it however you want, because I know that's what you want to do. I think about it every day. Beta, it was like one of my favorite times of my life. Like, it was the first time that nobody was like telling me no, really. Like, I just got to like do all my like weird ideas, and if it didn't work, then I took it off the menu and like put a new thing on like the next year. Like, Snack Boys is like a very like a weird version of like what Beta was. It was short-lived though. It was like the guy who owned it, he retired then, and like I didn't have anything to do then. I didn't have a plan. It was just like, this is over. We went on a road trip and just drove around like the whole country. We made rules, like it was like, you can only eat at food trucks or farmers markets or, you know, roadside stuff, like no like fast food. I think I went to 42 states throughout like 3 months basically. ended up in Austin. Like we went back and moved there and lived there, and I didn't open a food truck there because that was my plan though. Like I was gonna go to Austin and open a food truck. Got there and I was like, this is crazy. It's like
how, though?
This is like the place where food trucks like are born. Like as a outsider, it would be crazy for me to like think I can just like inject myself into this and succeed. Didn't do that. I just got a job like working at the Hillside Pharmacy, this great place. I took a side job. There was a woman frantically like buying. She was like had a list and she was like in a hurry. And I was like at the store and I was like, what's going on? Can I help you? And she's like, yeah, I need all this stuff right now. Like, I gotta go. I'm like late for a catering event. I was like, do you need a hand? Like, I'm a chef. And she's like, you're a chef? Why do you work at a liquor store? I'm like, I don't know. I just moved here. 2 days later, she basically called me and was like, I want you to work at my restaurant. And
And then what?
And then
what
I
ultimately
moved back.
brought you up to Door County then?
I was like working for a couple places. I was like, I'm gonna take a chance now, and started making tacos in my friend's parking lot of his brewery at farmers markets. That's where, at the time, Gypsy Taco was born. And eventually, I left Door County and came back down to Milwaukee because like I missed Milwaukee when I wasn't here. The year that we like put the taco truck in the back of Boone and Crockett was like, it just seemed like all of a sudden it was like, food trucks are cool. You can eat and drink and just like have a great time. Hey, look at
Justin, do you want another of the same beer?
Kingsley. Do you want to have a Ferrari, boy? Have you ever had one of those? Half Campari, half Fernet.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's a Boone and Crockett original.
But-
Me and John were on a road trip. We were in Toronto, and we met this dude at this bar, and he was like, you guys want a Ferrari, boy? And we're like, I don't know what that is, but yes, I do. He's like, it's Campari and Fernet. And I was like, there's no way I'm not going to like this. I think we got like pulled into the back lot of Boone and Crockett and came in and like
When did you do that?
erased the chalkboard and put it on. Snack Boys.
Yeah,
It's fucking
the exact
so-
opposite.
It's like, hey, do you want like dick and fart jokes and like kind of high? That would have been nice if you caught that. I would have been
And ate it,
super
too.
impressed, yeah.
I've noticed a lot of the events you have involve a lot of other local chefs. Recently, you had the Spoon and Crockpot,
Yep.
which is a benefit. You hosted the Dim Sum Give Some here.
People are excited, when you do things together. I think like Milwaukee as like a community of chefs is like so lucky to be the way that we are because we actually like all like each other a lot. And that is not a thing that exists like in other communities. Like people like restaurants like hate each other. Like they're rivals and like this, that, the other thing. Like in Milwaukee, like we're all like super tight. I'm like lucky to have like such an awesome like group of friends. Dan, Dane, Zerkel. Paul is just like, he's like the living legend because he's like older than us and wiser. He's like Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of.
And he can drink more than
And he can
any
drink
human
more
on
than
Earth.
any person that's ever existed in the world. But like
He destroyed me.
he's such a badass, but he's so like chill and like he's just kind of like watching over all of us kind of thing. For us, like to have the Cooperage, like this like venue space, and to be able to like have a place that's like ours that we can host all these people is great in itself. But then it's like we're just like having a party with all of our friends. We all like hanging out together and we're also busy. So when we can do stuff like that and or like have those events and then hang out after it is like the most fun time. Like we have the best time when we have events like that too. And there's chefs that like come from other places and they're like, what the fuck? You guys like each other? Like you guys like hang out and like don't want to kill each other. Like this is so strange. We all are in it to like we exist in this place that's like overlooked a lot, you know, like Milwaukee for some, like not until recently. Some of like the best chefs like in this entire region like live here and operate here, and we're existing together like in this place. Milwaukee's cool. Like we just want it to be cool. Like we want people to like want to come here.
What is like the signature Milwaukee dish? Like when you think of like, if you were hard pressed, if you had one more breakfast before being hauled off to jail, one more lunch, one dinner in Milwaukee, what would it be?
If I was gonna
Like
have
local,
one breakfast, I would
local
go to Benji's and have corned beef hash and apple juice with no ice. And if I was gonna go have lunch, I would go to St. Paul Fish Market and have an oyster po' boy, and I would have a dozen oysters and French fries. And if I was gonna have dinner, I would go to, man, I can't, like, I just always, like, if I'm going to have dinner, like, I go to Goodkind. That's where I go. And I will have the crispy mushrooms, and I'll have chicken liver pate, and I'll die a happy man.
You're a hockey guy. You enjoy the sport. I assume you watch the NHL, or
I
you
do.
did.
I quite like it.
Who are a few of your favorite all-time players?
All time, best player,
When you were growing up, what were a few of the
Pavel
players? that you
Bure.
loved?
Boom, that's it.
Vancouver Canucks, right?
Yeah.
I've like sort of like resorted to rooting for the Predators because it's
Me
like,
too.
Yeah.
I'm a Preds fan. Well, and also I like whatever. It's just whatever the Admirals are farming.
Yeah.
Like that's the team that's my team. Like so I'm a hardcore Preds fan now. Fuck the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Like all day.
I will never like a team from Chicago.
and or any team from Chicago.
Yeah.
Let's be. What camera am I looking in?
All
Fuck
of
it.
them.
All Bears suck.
Bears suck. Fuck the Bulls. Forgot the Cubs. White Sox are fine.
Yeah,
But
no, they all suck. The Preds are tight though. We have the Admirals. You can go to an Admirals game for like $8, right?
yeah, and you can probably see Joan Jett after most of the games.
You might be able to. When I was little, like, and I didn't have anything to grab onto besides, like, I had the Admirals, but I didn't have like the mindset like, well, I need to like the farm team. I liked the Vancouver Canucks because Pavel Bure. I mean, obviously Wayne Gretzky's
The Russian Rocket, right? Was
Yeah,
that they
Wayne
called it?
Gretzky's the best, but like Pavel Bure, the Russian Rocket, was the tightest, and you know him and Alexander McGinley, dynamic duo. It's a whole thing. All right, wait, what were we talking about?
I want to get into some real hard shit here.
Oh, great.
As a person who is a chef in a like food truck and a traditional restaurant,
Yes.
what are a few of the challenges that are kind of individual to each scene?
It's not. It's just every day is a dream. I can't even. No, that's not.
Every day
just-
is a winding road.
Yeah, or that.
I get a little bit closer.
They're both very similar and very different, like all day long. But like at the end of the day, it's like I didn't make this shit up. I'm just doing a thing that is like a thing that has been done, and you just kind of gotta work hard and do it every day, and it's gonna work. If you shovel a path to a taco truck for a person that lives in Wisconsin and was raised here, they're gonna be like, "This is cool. There's a path to this taco truck."
I see your lights on.
Are you open?
Are you doing bingo? No.
Oh no! Oh jeez.
But I know you're a big fan of the Star Wars.
No,
Don't
tell
dox
me-
me for saying the.
No, tell me
accidentally.
about it. Boom, baby Yoda. Boom, baby Yoda. Boom, baby Yoda.
I'm waiting for awkward teenage Yoda. That's my.
I mean, it's inevitably coming.
The Force is with you. Finding himself, kinda.
Finding Yoda.
Who are a few of your favorite characters in the Star Wars universe, and why? I love the Porgs.
I love pork.
That's my number one.
Yeah, I have a pork tattoo.
Really?
On my
Let's see
arm.
it. Can we see it?
Yeah,
There it is.
pork tattoo, Kyber crystal.
Turn in.
I like Star Wars quite a lot. I think Han Solo probably is like my favorite. Like, that would be.
Do you think he shot first?
Obviously, he did.
Who will shoot first out of us here? That because of editing we can't. The most important thing I'm gonna ask you tonight. Kylo Ren or are you Kylo Stimpy?
That would be Kylo Stimpy, only because like I'm just more of a chubby, lovable guy,
Stimpy was way better.
and like Ren's creepy.
Yeah, he always like would yell, "You idiot!"
Yeah. Fuck, idiot. Stimpy. What are we talking about though? Wait. All right, let's have this.
Yeah, let's do this one.
All right. The more drunk that I get, the like my hair just like does stuff and like gets weird, and that's a thing.
Have you ever experienced any like inspiring or good situations where like a person like tipped out the whole restaurant staff, or where they gave you just the nicest compliment?
Yeah. A couple times. I've had the coolest thing actually is like there was a guy one time at the taco truck. He came back up to the taco truck and he's like, "I love this so much. People need to experience like this thing. Like this is so good." And I was like, "Thanks, dude. Like, we're just trying to do our best." And he like gave me $100, like $100 bill. And he was like, I wanna buy like the next $100 worth of tacos. And I was like, well, that's weird, but also like very cool. But then they went and talked to him.
Yeah, but
and the guy was cool. He was a nice guy. And like that was like really cool thing to see, like to watch. And it was like back in the day, old Boone, like I was in the truck, like I was just like hanging out, like watching this like thing happen in front of me, like organically, and it was neat. It was cool.
Let's get into your musical like preferences here.
Uh-huh.
You have been to a bunch of Grateful Dead shows.
Yeah, I mean,
We don't have to see more tattoos. We all know you have a Jerry Garcia dick tattoo, and that's fine.
it's on my wing. Yeah, I quite like the Grateful Dead.
Fleshy Garcia.
Like Harry Garcia.
Harry Garcia, Justin, keep it in. Like, why the Grateful Dead? Why? I mean, not that you have to explain that band,
no,
but
I don't know. Like, it just like, I mean, as like lame as it sounds, like it just strikes a chord with me. Like, I like the Grateful Dead. I like jam band. Like, I like that. I like Fish. But I like all music. I'm not like. I'm not. My playlist today would go from like, Grateful Dead to Blind Melon to like Chance the Rapper to Here. I don't know.
I've never heard of Here before, but
I don't know. Yeah, no, that's a band.
the early stuff was way better.
Yeah.
Like, I like jam bands, but I'm more into jelly bands. Fewer seats.
Yeah. Have you ever like? Do you know the difference
I don't think we can say this joke
between
on air. As a chef, though, do you know the difference between a lentil and a chickpea?
One's a legume.
No, I've never.
It's terrible. I hate that.
I've successfully attempted to do this joke on every episode of the season.
It's gross.
They're different. They're entirely different. So there's no. And I've also never had a lentil. I've ever consumed a lentil. That's my punchline.
No, but you didn't even say it.
When does hummus become legal? All
right.
At what? Okay.
No.
I almost sipped over the entire
Don't
set.
mess up our fucking bottle collection. We got two more boffers here. Might as well fucking knock these babies down. A couple of buffers.
Yeah. A couple 2-3 buffs.
A couple 2-3 buffs. I did drink more than you because you have a full one right there. Drink it. Slam it. Slam it. Yeah, he did it. That was good. That was really nice.
I
He
got
did
that
it.
close.
He did a really good job.
I got that close.
This for your homies. Don't.
No, I'll finish
All
it.
right, fine.
Wait, 1 second.
Dude, hummus? Love it.
Hummus, more like I sing that shit is out because it's so good. I don't know. Fuck. Oh. I'm not humming anything. I'm singing it. I love it.
Denny's loaded. No, I think they call them smothered cheese fries. Actually, is like the proper name.
That's such a morbid term.
It's the smothered cheese fries, and they come.
They're
like,
so cheesy.
but it's
the
like
potatoes aren't even able
it
to
is.
breathe.
It's the same thing that
they
put,
will die within minutes.
It's the same thing they put the skillet in, like the omelet skillet.
okay.
But it's just fries with cheese, bacon, and scallions, and then they give you a fucking. They give you like a gallon of ranch on the side, like straight up. They just like, here you go. This you'll need this. You don't want to go into this journey alone, like Zelda. Exactly.
Let ranch take you.
And that's how it happens. That's just the thing.
I totally forgot my last 5 questions because of that.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh! All right, we're good. Fine. It's an earthquake.
Her earthquake was performing in town. It's not till like February.
All right, what was your next question? Sorry.
Oh, I wish that would have bought me more time to think about it. I did not. Boxers or briefs?
Boxer briefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, yes, boom, coverage, boom, also tightness. Boxers are weird, like, loose, that's weird.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not a small person. It's just weird for me as not a small person, because they get bunched up and it's weird. Do you not?
Favorite video
do you know
game
what
of
I'm
all
talking
time?
about?
I know I do boxer briefs too.
Favorite video game of all time?
You said Zelda before you made a reference to him.
Yeah, no, I
Or
mean-
Link. I'm sorry. Don't fucking dox me, all right? I know it's Link.
It's not my favorite video game of all time, though.
NBA Jam is mine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Super Nintendo, Wayne Gretzky 99. You could score in 1 second. Boom, boom, score. Boom, boom, score. Like if you figured out how to do that, you could not be touched.
You could score and not be touched.
I would be Aaron Rodgers. Golden God. America's quarterback. Do you ever play Earthworm Jim?
Nah.
Side note, that was a cool game. Also, Chrono Trigger, quite like that game. Mario 3.
I feel like if you get the
like
raccoon thing-
Tail? Raccoon Tail Mario?
Yeah, you're a golden god. You can't be touched. Like Aaron Rodgers.
Wait, let's go back though. Let's start over.
No.
No, we can. I will. I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers.
Mitch
You know why?
Ciohon.
I'll tell you. I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Quite like him. Also, though, there would be no Aaron Rodgers if there was no Brett Favre kind of person, and people don't do okay with that. Like they get mad at me about it.
Yeah.
Do you? Where are you on that?
If he wouldn't have waffled with his retirement for as long as he did, then there wouldn't be. I'm sorry, I gotta get this.
Unless you're gracefully like exiting like anything like as a person, on your own, that's a thing.